today's video, we are going to discuss about the tunnel diode. Okay, so this tunnel diode is working based on the principle of tunneling mechanism. So that's why it's called tunnel diode. So a lot of diodes are there. There is photodiode, there is Zener diode, and just like that, there is tunnel diode, varactor diode. All these topics also will be covering in the upcoming days. Okay, so tunnel diode is also called Esaki diode. It is named after its founder. Okay. And the main principle happening in the tunnel diode is a tunneling mechanism. And due to this tunneling mechanism, which is actually a quantum mechanical process, it is said to be having a negative resistance. Now, while discussing the working of the tunnel diode, you'll be very clear about the negative resistance and all, but just know that it is having a negative resistance. Okay, so this tunnel diode has a negative resistance due to the quantum mechanical effect, which is called tunneling. So I won't be covering all the theory unwanted things. We'll be discussing the tunnel diode topic on an exam point of view. Okay, so the symbol of the tunnel diode, which is very important because in competitive examinations you can face this match the following questions. Sometimes you'll be given the symbol and you have to identify what type of device is it. You have to identify that this is a tunnel diode. Okay, so this is the symbol of a tunnel diode, which is having a anode and a cathode. So it is having a cathode like this, and this is the anode. Now let's see how this tunnel diode is working when it is unbiased, when the biasing is applied, when forward bias, all these things we are going to see as a very brief. Then we'll be discussing 10 important questions from the tunnel diode session. Okay, just like we have done for Zener diodes, we'll be doing for the tunnel diode also. So we are mostly interested in the MCQ type of question answers, right? So we'll be seeing that also. Okay, so if you see the structure of a tunnel diode, anyway, it is a diode. It is having a p-type semiconductor and an n-type semiconductor joined together to form a diode junction, right? So it is having a p-type material and an n-type material. Now, if you closely observe this p-type and the n-type material, you can see that the valence band, this is the valence band of the p-type material. This is the valence band of the n-type material. This is the conduction band, and this is the conduction band of the upper one is the conduction band of the n-type material. Okay, so due to the structure of the tunnel diode, you can see the valence band of the p-type material is actually aligned or in the same level of the conduction band of the n-type material. Okay, that is the valence band of p-type and the conduction band of the n-type is aligned. You know that in valence band there is plenty of holes, and also in conduction band there is plenty of electrons. So these holes and electrons are actually almost closely aligned. Okay, so we'll discuss the first stage of working when the diode is unbiased. Okay, I'm going to remove the figure for the time being. Okay, so what happens when there is step 1 in which we are considering that this diode is unbiased. Okay, there is no bias voltage or anything applied to this diode. So as I said, the valence band of p-type and the conduction band of n-type is aligned, and due to this, even if we are not applying any voltage or any bias, okay, some electrons will tunnel from the conduction band of the n region to the valence band of the p region. Okay, also some holes will tunnel from the valence band to the conduction band. So this tunneling process happens. Just keep in mind that we have not applied any voltage here, but even though we are not applying any voltage, the tunneling of the electrons and the holes happens to the opposite side. Okay, so due to this alignment or due to the structure of the tunnel diode, the tunneling of electrons and holes is actually happening, but the net current is assumed to be 0. Okay, so if a question is coming like, when a tunnel diode is unbiased, will there be any current flow? The current flow, due to this structure or the nature of this diode, is actually net current is equal to 0, because the number of electrons generated will be actually equal to the number of holes generated. So you cannot really say that a net current is produced. And also just assume that this flowing or this tunneling process is also due to the temperature increase. Okay, so there should be a small variation or the increase in temperature. Only then the tunneling process will actually happen. Okay, so there is a slight misalignment, but this misalignment is actually overcome by the slight temperature variation. Okay, so when a slight temperature increase is happening, this tunneling process will take place. Okay, so during the unbiased condition, you can draw the VI carrier like this. Sorry, the IV carrier like this. The voltage here and the current here. There is no net current. So you should only study this, or you should only know this thing, that in the unbiased state, even though the tunneling is taking place, there is no net current. So the IV carrier will look like this. Okay, so this is the step 1. In step 2, we are considering that we are going to apply a small voltage. Okay, so this is the step 2 we are going to discuss. In step 2, we are going to apply a small voltage, okay, to this tunnel diode, which is in the forward condition. Forward voltage we are going to apply. Now what will happen when a small voltage is applied? When the small voltage is applied, the electrons will tunnel from the conduction band. That is, the electrons from the conduction band of the N-type material will tunnel to the valence band of the P-type material, and which will create a small current. Okay, so this happens during a step 2 when we are applying a small voltage. Okay, so the carrier will look like this. There is a voltage, there is a current, and there is a small current actually getting generated here. And this is due to the tunneling of electrons from this side to the valence band on the P side. Okay, I hope it is clear. So this is happening during the step 2. Okay, now moving on to the step 3. So here a small current is generated, right? In step 3, we are going to increase the applied voltage, or we are going to apply a slightly increased voltage. Step 3, in which we apply a slightly increased voltage than the previous one. Okay, so here what happens is that the voltage value or the rate of voltage we have increased, and the tunneling will be at its maximum stage. Okay, so we know that due to the structure of this tunnel diode, there is only a small voltage actually required to make this conduction band and valence band aligned. See, almost they are closely aligned. They only require a small voltage applied. So if we are going to apply the increased voltage, means they will be almost aligned, and the maximum current will get generated due to the tunneling process. Okay, so here the IV carrier will look like this. The current will increase to the maximum. Okay, now the carrier of this tunnel diode is very important. While discussing the question also, you should know that the carrier of this tunnel diode is very important. Okay, so I will draw the carrier. Just know that here we have applied a slightly higher voltage. Okay, so I'm going to draw the carrier here. It will be voltage and current, and the carrier will look like this. The current is maximum. So maximum tunnel current is generated. Okay, due to the increased voltage. Now this is happening in the step 3. In step 4, what happens is that we are going to further increase the voltage. Now further increase in voltage, I'm going to remove this step 3. Now we are going to discuss, we are going to further increase the voltage in step 4. Step 4, further increase in voltage. Okay, so what happens? See, our aim is to align this conduction band and the valence band. Only then the current is going to increase. But what happens if we keep on increasing the voltage means they will get aligned again. Further increase will actually misalign this valence band and the conduction band. Okay, so a misalignment is actually going to happen. If we are going to increase the voltage means the conduction band will move away from the valence band. Okay, so our aim was to just align them, but further increase in voltage will actually misalign these two, one, and the conduction band will move upper and the valence band will move down. So this misalignment will happen. Okay, so that will happen. Now when there is a misalignment, what happens? The current will come at its maximum and then it will actually drop. Okay, due to this misalignment, the current will start dropping. So there is a drop in current now. So this is the current, this is the voltage. So the current will start to drop. Okay, so tunnel current will now decrease. Okay, so this arrow increase, decrease. So I hope it is clear. So this is happening if we are going to keep on increasing the voltage. After a point, when the tunnel current is at its maximum, the tunnel diode will have a negative effect on the increase in voltage. So our aim is to increase the current in proportion to the voltage. But what happens due to this misalignment of the conduction band and the valence band means it will reduce the current. So this is what we are saying, that there is a negative effect or a negative resistance. That is, there is a negative effect of increased voltage on the current. So the current will start to reduce. Okay, so that is happening when we further increase the voltage. Now in step 5 we are keeping on increasing the voltage. Now in step 5 we are going to apply a very large voltage. Okay, so in step 5 I'm going to remove this. We are going to apply a large voltage. Apply large voltage. So when a large voltage is applied, what happens is that here the tunneling will actually stop and this tunnel diode will work like a normal PN junction. Now at this point, the tunnel diode will start behaving like a normal PN junction. We know. So in step 5, that when we are applying a very large voltage, the tunnel diode will start behaving like a normal PN junction. Now from this point onwards, the diode will behave like a normal PN junction and the current is due to the forward bias condition of a normal PN junction diode. And here the cara will look like this. I'll explain the cara here. So this is the cara. I'm going to draw the current, the voltage. So it was like this, right? So from this point it will again start increasing. Now just know that this current rise is not due to tunneling. There is no tunneling happening further. This is due to the forward biased current, or this is a forward bias maximum current happening. Okay, so the current is moving to the maximum. It is a maximum forward bias current. It is not the tunneling current. Here the tunneling was happening. Here the behavior is identical to that of a normal PN junction diode. So this is happening in a tunnel diode. Okay, so what is happening is initially there was tunneling, and as we go on increasing the voltage, the tunneling stops and the current will decrease, and then again the current will increase due to the forward bias PN junction, just like any other normal PN junctions. Okay, so that is the working of a tunnel diode. I hope that all the 5 stages are clear to you, and this graph is very important because there are certain points which you need to actually remember if you go for competitive examinations. Okay, and also the structure of the valence band and the conduction band is also important. You also have to keep this thing in mind in order to remember the working. Okay, so initially there is a slight misalignment which we actually align by applying slight voltage, but if we go on increasing the voltage means again misalignment is happening, okay, and then a large misalignment, and then it will be acting like a normal PN junction diode due to the large voltage applied, okay. So these all are the important things and the working of a tunnel diode, okay. Now what are the advantages of a tunnel diode and what are the application? Let's see. We are going to see about the advantages and the application of tunnel diode. So the tunnel diodes are having longer life and they are having high speed operation and low noise. Okay, so these are the main advantages of tunnel diode, and also low power consumption. While the applications are used as a logic memory storage, used in used in the logic memory storage devices, then relaxation oscillator circuits, ultra high speed switch, and also in FM receivers. So in connection to these applications also you can face a lot of questions. For example, they are giving some options and they are asking out of which option, out of these options, which is being used in the relaxation oscillator. If such a question is coming, you should be able to figure out that it is nothing but the tunnel diode. So these type of questions also are important. That's why I have included the applications also. Next, we are going to see the 10 important questions from the tunnel diode session. So the first question is, tunnel diode operates in dash. So we have discussed about the working of tunnel diode, and never ever we have talked about the reverse bias condition, because the tunnel diode will work only in the forward bias condition normally, okay. So normally we won't use tunnel diodes in reverse bias condition, only in the forward bias condition it will be working, okay. Second question, mark peak and valley voltages. In competitive examinations you cannot find these type of question, but while including this question my aim was to talk about the peak voltage and the valley voltage, okay. So this voltage is called the peak voltage, this point, okay, here. So here you know this is V, this is I, right? So this voltage corresponding to this point is called the peak voltage or VP, and at that voltage maximum current is flowing due to the tunneling, okay. Now, so this voltage is called the valley voltage, and in that point it is a maximum voltage at which the tunnel diode will act like a normal PN junction diode. So from that point onwards there is no tunneling happening, just it will start behaving like a normal PN junction diode, okay. So the current is at its minimum, okay. I mean, once the tunneling process is starting, after that the current is minimum, not at this point, okay. So this point is called valley voltage and this point is called peak voltage. So if the graph is given to you and they are marking this point and asking you what is that voltage called, you should be answering that the voltage is called peak voltage, this is called valley voltage. Also you can from the graph you can figure out this is a peak and this is a valley, okay. So it is a valley voltage and the peak voltage. Also another important point, the region in between these 2 points is called the negative resistance region, okay. Negative resistance region, okay. So that thing also is very important, okay. So from the graph the marked region is called what? It is called negative resistance region. Next point, that is why it is called negative resistance region, because even though we are increasing the voltage the current is reducing, right? So that is why it is called negative resistance region. Next, third question, tunnel diode has a very fast operation in dash microwave region. So these tunnel diodes are designed to have tunneling effect of electrons in the microwave frequency, okay. So they have a very fast operation in the microwave region. Next question is very important, the depletion layer of tunnel diode is very small, because so from the question itself there is an important point, the depletion region of the tunnel diode is very small, okay. Now why it is very small? Because of the heavy doping, okay. You should be knowing that there is a heavy doping in a tunnel diode. So due to that heavy doping there is a slight alignment in the conduction and the valence band, okay. So why this depletion region is of the tunnel diode is very small? Because one, the depletion region is abrupt and also it is having high dopants, because of the high dopants or the heavy doping, the depletion region is small. Okay, so the important point is that because of the heavy doping, the depletion region is small. So that is the fourth question. The fifth question is tunneling involves movement of the question is tunneling involves dash. Tunneling involves movement of electrons from conduction band to valence band. That is, movement of electrons from conduction band of N-side or N-type semiconductor to the valence band of P-type semiconductor. Okay. Sixth question, tunnel diodes are made of dash. Generally, they are made of silicon, germanium and gallium arsenide. So these are the three materials generally preferred to make tunnel diodes. Seventh question, what happens to tunnel diode after valley point? So I'm stressing it once again. The peak voltage and the valley voltage, or the peak point and the valley point, are very important. So after valley point, what happens is that they behave like a normal PN junction diode. Eighth question, tunnel diode is mainly used for dash, high speed switching. They are used mainly for high speed switching. And also mainly they are used in the microwave frequency region. Okay. Because they have a very high speed operation in the microwave frequency region. Ninth question, tunnel diode is also called dash. It was invented by Esaki, so its other name is Esaki diode. 10th question and the last question, tunneling is also called dash. So this tunneling process is also called autoelectronic phenomena. So this tunneling is it is a quantum mechanical process, and it is also called autoelectronic phenomena. Okay, so these are the 10 questions which I have included in this video. I really hope that you understood the working of a tunnel diode, what all things are happening in a very brief manner. I have explained. Anyway, all these things are sufficient in order to write your semester exams also. You should be knowing the structure and the working of a tunnel diode. Okay, so all those things I try to cover in this video, and also the important questions. Okay, so most important thing is the graph. The cara of the diode is very important. So once you know the cara, you can also write the working from the cara itself. You can see that the current is going on increasing and then decreasing. So when the increasing is happening means tunneling is happening. Then again the current is decreasing means so the tunneling has actually lowered, or the current is reducing, and then the tunneling has stopped and the device will work like a normal PN junction diode. Okay, so all these things I've tried to explain in this video. I really hope that you found this video useful. If yes, please do give it a thumbs up, and also share this video with maximum of your friends. And if you want more videos, please do subscribe to the channel. You'll be finding the notes of this over our EC Electronics Facebook page. Please do like and follow it also. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching and keep on watching.